Is it starting? Okay, there we go.
Oh, the words from the pages change your world. Your word can change your heart. It can change your mind. It can change your life. New Black Wall Street can change your world.
All right, my beautiful people, this is ERGJ, your certified financial educator, founder of the New Black Wall Street and the New Black Wall Street Book Club, here with your midday manna. And, you know, it's just some reading I got to get done, so I figure why not read it with my peeps, because we're going through the book, you know, the book that I think everyone, and if you're serious about life and this thing called success, you might want to get this book. It's called The Law of Success. It's by Napoleon Hill. One of the few books is not a black author, obviously, but it's the Master's Wealth Builders Complete and Original Lesson Plan for Achieving Your Dreams. And I would call this the Success Bible. Everybody put in the comments below the Success Bible. What's going on, LaShonda? Miss Sin Monique Zaria. What's going on? Kenyatta Dean Bacon Business in the house. Thanks so much for joining us here today. Yeah, that's what I would say. I would say it's the I'm gonna get that later. I would say it's the Success Bible. But nonetheless, we're going through the sections called Mind, Chemistry, and Economic Power. I don't have a whole lot of offers to give to you today because I just want to read the book. I just want to read the book. So nonetheless, this is a part of the intro. This is a part of the intro. Yeah, let us begin. Mind, Chemistry, and Economic Power. Now I'm gonna do my best to use my Napoleon Hill voice. I don't know how good it is, but I can just hear it in my head how he be talking. So I'm gonna try my best. But nonetheless, the mind chemistry may be appropriately applied to the workaday affairs of the economic and commercial world in a demonstrable fact. Through the blending of two or more minds in the spirit of perfect harmony, the principle of mind chemistry may be made to develop sufficient power to enable the individuals whose minds have been thus blended to perform seemingly superhuman feats. Power is the force with which man achieves success in any undertaking. Power in unlimited quantity may be enjoyed by any group of men or men and women who possess the wisdom which wish to submerge their own personalities and their own immediate individual interests through the blending of their minds in a spirit of perfect harmony. Let me ask you this, guys. How many guys are part of a mastermind group? How many guys are part of a group that is going towards mutual interests? How many guys are part of a group that you guys have very similar interests as far as what you're looking to accomplish, and you're willing to submit to one another? You're willing to put that ego and that pride aside for the greater cause or the greater good or the big picture. It says here, let me repeat that again. Power in unlimited quantities may be enjoyed by any group of men or men and women who possess the wisdom. Everybody put in the comments below, wisdom, with which to submerge their own personalities and their own immediate individual interests through the blending of their minds in a spirit of perfect harmony. Observe profitability, the frequency with which the word harmony appears throughout the introduction. There can be no development of a mastermind where this element of perfect harmony does not exist. The individual units of the mind will not blend with the individual units of another mind until the two minds have been aroused and warmed, as it were, with the spirit of perfect harmony, of purpose. Everybody put in the comments below, harmony. This is the problem with a lot of groups. They're not operating in the spirit of harmony. This is the problem in the Black community. Not operating with a spirit of harmony. The moment two minds begin to take divergent roads of interest, the individual units of each mind separate. And the third element, known as a mastermind, which grew out of the friendly and harmonious alliance, will disintegrate. We come now to the study of some well-known men who have accumulated great power, also great fortune through the application of mind chemistry. Let us begin our study with three men who are known to be men of great achievement in their respective fields of economic, business, and professional endeavor. Their names are Henry Ford, Thomas Edison, and Harvey Firestone. Of the three, Henry Ford is by far the most powerful. Having reference to economic and financial power, Mr. Ford is the most powerful man now living on earth. Many who have studied Mr. Ford believe him to be the most powerful man who ever lived. As far as known, Mr. Ford is the only man now living or who has ever lived with sufficient power to outwit the money trust of the United States. Mr. Ford gathers millions of dollars with as great ease as a child fills his bucket with sand when playing on the beach. It's been said by those who are in a position to know that Mr. Ford, if he needed it, could send out the call for money and gather in $1 billion, $1,000 million, and have it available for use within a week. No one knows of Ford's achievements, or no one who knows of Ford's achievements doubts this. Those who know him well know that he could do it with no more effort than the average man expends in raising the money with which to pay a month's house rent. He could get this money, if needed it, through the intelligent application on the principles on which this course is based. Let me ask you this. How would you like to be in a position that whenever you may need it, you could call and have money available to you? Whenever you may need it, you could call or make a call and have money available to you. While Mr. Ford's new automobile was in the process of perfection in 1927, it is said that he received advance orders with cash payments for more than 375,000 cars. At an estimated price of $600 per car, this would amount to $225 million, which he received before a single car was delivered. Such is the power and confidence in Ford's ability. Now, Henry Ford could raise $225 million without having made one single car. Now, it just so happens that ERGJ could sell 200 books without having written a single page on a book. So if Henry Ford could do it, and little old ERGJ, little country boy from Decatur, Georgia, could do it, what's stopping you from doing it? Got to understand the principles of success. I talked this morning about the portfolio of success. Do you even understand what it takes to be a success? I'm talking about success, financial success. Mr. Edison, as everyone knows, is a philosopher, scientist, and inventor. He is perhaps the keenest Bible student on earth, a student of nature's Bible, however, and not of the myriads of man-made Bible. Mr. Edison had such a keen insight into Mother Nature's Bible that he has harnessed and combined for the good of mankind more of nature's laws than any other person now living or who ever lived. It is he who brought together the point of a needle and a piece of revolving wax in such a way that the vibration of the human voice may be recorded and produced through the modern talking machine. Although it may be Edison who will eventually enable man to pick up and correctly interpret the vibrations of thought, which are now recorded into boundless universe of ether, just as he enabled man to record and reproduce the spoken word. It was Edison who first harnessed the lightning and made it serve as a light for man's use through the aid of an incandescent electric light bulb. It was Edison who gave the world the modern moving picture. There are but few of his outstanding achievements, these modern miracles which he has performed, not by trickery, under the sham pretense of superhuman power, but in the very midst of the bright light of science, transcend all of the so-called miracles described in the man-made books of fiction. Mr. Firestone is the moving spirit of the great Firestone tire industry in Akron, Ohio. His industrial achievements are so well known wherever automobiles are used that no special comment of them seems necessary. All three of these men began their careers, businesses, and professional without capital. Let me say that again. All three of these men began their careers, both business and professional, without capital and with but little schooling of that type, usually referred to as education. Let me ask you this, people. Once you ascend in your mentality and in your thinking, you'll begin to understand that money really is no issue. The lack of money, in most cases, is an excuse because money can be created. Money can be had. You can get more money. And I always wonder, how is it that you're letting money stop you? How is that? That you're letting money or lack of money stop you? You wonderful black man, you wonderful black woman, with all this creativity and thought, all this ability, you'll let something like money, which is man-made, keep you from your dreams. See, you begin to understand as you evolve in your thinking that you can get money. Matter of fact, I would challenge you to think about the time when you needed money the most, when you're down on your luck, when you were between a rock and a hard place and you had to have that money. Maybe it's to pay a bill. Maybe it's to keep your lights on. Maybe it's to feed your child. And I can guarantee you, you found a way to get that money. So if you can do it when you're desperate, why can't you do it when you're inspired? Everybody repeat that. If I can do it when I'm desperate, I should be able to do it when I'm inspired. See, change happens in one or two forms. People change when they get desperate, or they change when they get inspired. And so often, we only react or move when we get desperate. Seems to be when we get desperate, our creative juices flow the best. And we ignore our creativity when we're inspired. Notice I said inspired. I didn't say motivated. See, I believe motivation comes from the outside. Inspiration comes from the inside. When was the last time, black man or black woman, you were inspired to greatness? Inspired to greatness. See, there's so much greatness inside of you, but you can keep covering it up because you don't want to let your light shine. You think your light is too bright for the world, but the whole world is waiting on you to let your light shine. At some point in your life, I hope that you understand this, that you get this, that you let your light shine. And I also hope that as your light shines, you will let other people's light shine. As a matter of fact, that you will brighten their day. I also hope that as your light shines, you will make sure you never cover the light of your children, that you let their light shine. You got something special. You got something great. You got something that will command a high price. Question is, will you bring your greatness to the world? All these men are now well educated. All three are wealthy. All three are powerful. Now let's wind to the source of their wealth and power. Thus far, we have been dealing only with effect. A true philosopher wishes to understand the cause of a given effect. It is a matter of general knowledge that Mr. Ford, Mr. Edison, and Mr. Firestone are close personal friends, and have been so for many years. that in former years they were in the habit of going away to the woods once a year for a period of rest, meditation, and recuperation. But it's not generally known. It is a grave doubt if these three men themselves know it, that there exists between the three men a bond of harmony, which has caused their minds to become blended into a mastermind, which is a real source of power of each. This mass mind growing out of the coordination of the individual minds of Ford, Edison, and Firestone has enabled these men to tune in. Everybody put in the comments below, tune in on forces and sources of knowledge with which most men are to no extent familiar. If the student doubts either the principle or the effects here described, let him remember that more than half the theory here set forth is a known fact. For example, it is known that these three men have great power. It is known that they are very wealthy. It is known that they began without capital and but little schooling. It is known that they form periodic mind contacts. It is known that they are harmonious and friendly. It is known that their achievements are so outstanding as to make it impossible to compare these achievements with those of other men in their respective fields of activity. All these effects are known to practically every schoolboy in the civilized world. Therefore, there can be no dispute as far as effects are concerned. Of one fact connected with the cause of the achievements of Edison, Ford, and Firestone may be sure, namely, that these achievements were in no way based upon trickery, deceit, the supernatural, the so-called revelations of any form of unnatural law. These men do not possess a stock of legerdemain. Woo, that's a big word right there. Let me see if somebody find out what this word means. Ledger. Woo, woo. That's why you read, boy. You start to expand your vocabulary. What the heck is this? Legerdemain. Somebody find this out for me. Legerdemain. Woo. Okay. Do not possess a stock of legerdemain. The work with natural laws which for the most part are well known to all economists and leaders in the field of science, with the possible exception of the law upon which chemistry of the mind is based. As yet, chemistry of the mind is not sufficiently developed to be classed by scientific men in their catalog of known laws. A mastermind may be created by any group of people who will coordinate their minds in a spirit of perfect harmony. The group may consist of any number from 2 upward. Best results appear available from the blending of 6 or 7 minds. It has been suggested that Jesus Christ discovered how to make use of the principle of mind chemistry, that his seemingly miraculous performances grew out of the power he developed through the blending of minds of his 12 disciples. It has been pointed out that when one of the disciples, Judas Iscariot, broke faith, the mastermind immediately disintegrated, and Jesus met with the supreme catastrophe of his life. When 2 or more people harmonize their minds and produce the effect known as a mastermind. Now, let me stop right here. When 2 or more people harmonize their minds and to produce the effect known as a mastermind. Now, I got to ask this question because it begs asking. For those that are married, did you marry your mastermind? For those who are dating and looking to get married, are you interested or even considering if this is the person to form your mastermind? Where 2 or more harmonize their minds and produce the effect known as a mastermind. Each person in the group or marriage becomes vested with the power to contact with and gather knowledge through the subconscious minds of all the other members of the group. This power becomes immediately noticeable, having the effect of stimulating the mind to a higher rate of vibration, and otherwise evidencing itself in the form of a more vivid imagination and the consciousness of what appears to be a sixth sense. It is through this sixth sense that new ideas will flash into the mind. These ideas take on the nature and form of the subject dominating the mind of the individual. It is the entire group has met for the purpose of discussing a given subject. Ideas concerning that subject will come pouring into the minds of all present, if an outside influence were dictating them. The minds of those participating in the mastermind become as magnets, attracting ideas and thought stimuli of the most highly organized and practical nature from no one knows where. The process of mind blending here described as a mastermind will be likened to the act of one who connects many electric batteries to a single transmission wire, thereby stepping up the power flowing over that line. Each battery added increases the power passing over that line by the amount of energy the battery carries. Just so is the case of blending individual minds into a mastermind. Each mind, through the principle of mind chemistry, stimulates all the other minds in the group until the mind energy thus becomes so great that it penetrates to and connects with the universal energy known as ether, which in turn touches every atom of the entire universe. Have you ever been connected to a group of people that brought the best out of you? I mean, it took your thinking to a whole new level whenever you connected with this group of people. Have you ever been in a group that was so infused with energy and thought and stimuli that it took you to a whole new level because you were part of that group? Have you ever been in a situation where you came with nothing, but you left with everything? Let me say that again. You ever been in a situation where you were drained, you came with nothing, but you left with everything? See, these are the type of groups you should be looking out for. Groups that pour into you, that you leave it more than what you came. That you really leave changed. You really leave invigorated. You really leave so full of ideas, because it's the ideas there. It's the ideas that can help you get out of debt. It's the ideas that can help you create money and create wealth. If the federal government can print $1, you can create one in your mind. And that's exactly what we're seeing now with this thing called cryptocurrency. People are literally creating currency because of their mind. See, once you study money and you understand that currency is nothing but an exchange, and that we now have $1 that's nothing but the exchange of an idea of value. You understand that we didn't used to have $1. We used to trade salt and sugar and cattle. You understand that currency is nothing but an exchange of an idea of value. My question to you is, what value do you bring? You see, this stream right now could be full of Philando Castile. It could be full of debauchery. It could be full of filth. And there will be 1 million people watching it. But whenever there's a time where you can actually lift up and raise your level of thinking, people are not interested. That is the funny thing. You want change, but then when you have the opportunity to participate in it, it's not sexy enough for you. It's not interesting enough for you. It's not entertaining enough for you. So you want to be entertained. You don't want to change. You want to have fun. You don't want to make money. You don't want to get out of debt. Too comfortable being broke. Too comfortable staying the same. Offended by anyone who will come into your life and try to raise you up to be the man or woman that they know you can be. See, there's some people in your life right now who look at you and they see nothing but possibility. It's called potential. The sad part is you don't see potential in yourself. And they can't cast their belief onto you until you believe in yourself. So many things we must learn, but we're not interested in education. Especially education that doesn't come with a grade. Education that's not demanded that we go. Kind of education you got to decide you want to go get. And believe me, it's available. You see, our priorities are all into fun, entertainment, shucking and jiving, being a laughing stock of the world. But there's a few of us who understand that we'll be leaders while everyone else follows. So yes, I do call on all the Black wealth builders for you to understand that it's going to take some time for us to build. Stone by stone, moment by moment, brick by brick. But at the end of the day, we're going to build this empire. About 5 minutes. So this is a law of success that we're going through. I'm going to stop right there. Just give y'all a little taste of Napoleon Hill. It's something that we do every Sunday morning in the Club Millionaire Mastermind group. We do have a mastermind. We got people that are serious about change. We got people that are serious about excelling and success, and they are seeing they're seeing wonderful results as there's a spirit of perfect harmony. See, they stepped away from the crowd of people that's talking about all the problems, crowd of people that's distracted by all of the things that are going on in life. And here's what I want to tell you about life. There's nothing new under the sun. What has been will always be. So to focus on the things that you can't control, while at the same time not focusing on the things that you can control, is idiotic. It's foolish. For you to focus so much on your attention on things that you cannot control, but you neglect the things that you can control. That's called spinning your wheels. That's called going around that mountain over and over again. Because you're so focused on the stuff that you can't control, and you neglect the things that you can control, and therefore you stay out of control. When you're out of control, you are being controlled by somebody else, by something else. For most of us, that'll be called the system. For most of us, that'll be called propaganda. For many of us, we'll call it the man. Whatever you want to call it, whenever you are out of control, I want to think about this for a second. Whenever you find yourself out of control, that means somebody else is controlling you. Whenever you find yourself out of control of your emotions, someone else has control of your emotions. Whenever you let someone push your buttons, that's them pushing your buttons, not you. Whenever you find yourself out of control, somebody else is controlling. That's sad to think about. My whole life, I've been out of control. My whole life, I've been reacting to events, to things that have taken place in this world that I can't control. But I react. And the problem with our community, problem with Black folk, that we find ourselves reacting for decades, for centuries, reacting. Not being proactive in our actions lead us to reacting to the actions of others. And whenever you find yourself reacting, you are out of control. Which means you're being controlled by somebody else. Which means they know how to push your buttons. Which means they know how you're going to react. Which means they want you to react that way. They expect it. Because nothing changes, people, if nothing changes. Wake up. Nothing changes if nothing changes. Well, guys, this is ERGJ, certified financial educator, founder of the New Black Wall Street, CEO and president of Club Millie. It's something that you might be interested in. You want to join a group of people who have formed a mastermind, working in perfect harmony to build the Black folk empire. You got the opportunity to do that. You got to be a person that's ready, willing, and able. You got to be a person that's a change agent. You got to be a person that's ready to change the world. Not reactive, but proactive. I didn't react to create this thing. I got it in a dream, and I put it into action. What's your dream? What you gonna do? I want you to remember this, guys. It takes a village. Starts with us. Let's build Black wealth together. Have a terrific Thursday. Catch up with you soon.